Dragon Ball has always had some of the best and most unexpected fights of all time, and because of this, there are a lot of upsets. For anyone who's unfamiliar with the term upset, it pretty much just means when the underdog wins, when the favorite is defeated by the lesser favorite. Usually an upset occurs in a professional sport, and not in a manga/anime. But if you think about it, Dragon Ball Z is just enhanced martial arts. Martial arts is also a sport, so it makes sense that there would be upsets. So strap yourself in as I take you through the 7 Dragon Ball Z upsets. Taking out the 7th spot, I'm going to be starting with what is possibly the first ever upset in Dragon Ball history. Yamcha versus Jackie Chan. Now there's a few reasons as to why I put this on here. Number 1, in Dragon Ball, Yamcha was built up as this rival to Goku. Before Vegeta and before Krillin, there was Yamcha, and at the first martial arts tournament that they all went to, Yamcha was ready to compete with Goku. However, there was one unknown old man who stopped him. Obviously, Jackie Chan turned out to be Master Roshi in disguise, but when he defeated Yamcha, no one was supposed to know that. And I guess you could say from here on, it just gets worse for Yamcha. Taking out the next spot, we have how Gogeta didn't beat Omega Shenron blows my mind every single time. This is a different kind of upset in the sense that Gogeta didn't lose, he just didn't win. For a good part of 18 years, Gogeta was regarded as the strongest character in the franchise. In fact, some people still think that he's stronger than guys like Zeno, and for him to not win against someone who was significantly weaker than him, I consider that to be a huge upset. Surviving Gogeta is nothing small, and Omega Shenron did it. Coming in at number 5, here he is again, Yamcha vs the Cybermen. Yamcha remains the only character in Dragon Ball history that actually died to a Cyberman. And you've got to think of it like this: Yamcha, Krillin, Tien, Yajirobe even, they all spent 1 year training their hardest to fight the Saiyans. So you would think that they would all at least get to fight them. Well, not Yamcha, he got first rounded by a Cyberman, and it wouldn't even be that bad. If he genuinely lost in a hard fought battle, then everything would be fine. But he literally had the fight won, and he died anyway, and that's why he's taken out number 5. Taken out number 4, we have another half upset. This time it's Tien versus Cell. And although Tien didn't even come close to winning, he did manage to flex his muscles so hard that I'm putting him on this list. It was implied that Cell absorbed hundreds of thousands of humans. Combine that with Android 17 and that puts him leaps and bounds above Tien. Even still, Tien had enough strength to hold him off for a decent amount of time, and it's only because of the insane power gap between the two that I'm calling this an upset. Coming in at number 3, we have Trunks versus Frieza and King Cold. This was one of those moments where you knew something was going to happen, but Frieza dying right after they brought him back was the last thing anyone would have seen coming. You could easily argue that this could be number 1 just because of how random and out of nowhere it was, but I do think that there are 2 more specific moments that stand out as being the complete upset. Taking out the silver medal for being the second best upset is actually in Dragon Ball GT. This took place directly after the death of Baby and arguably could have been the greatest upset in the history of mankind. And when I say that, I'm not even exaggerating. We're talking about this kid beating Goku. For those of you who haven't seen GT in a while, here's how it went down. Goku's about to fight in the final of the Junior World Martial Arts Tournament, but then Vegeta out of nowhere shows up and starts talking to Goku, and while his back is turned, the kid capitalizes and kicks him almost out of the ring. Goku holds on barely and eventually gets tickled and loses his grip, therefore giving this guy the achievement of taking down one of the greatest warriors in fictional history, while also pulling off the second greatest upset in DBZ history. However, if I were to make this video around 9 months ago, this easily would have been number 1. Coming in as the greatest upset in the history of Dragon Ball is none other than Dragon Ball Super's Universal Tournament. There were a lot of fights that took place throughout the event, but nothing can beat the finale. Monaka for some reason was being talked up as the ultimate fighter of Universe 7, when in reality he wasn't, and he had to go up against Hit, someone who was competing with the Super Saiyan God Kaioken x 20 Goku. The chances of Monaka winning this were next to none, but he won anyway, resulting in the best upset in the entire franchise. Even though it was borderline match fixing, it was just so unexpected and probably the best way to win the tournament. Anyway, this has been the 7 biggest Dragon Ball upsets. Of course, there has been more throughout the series, so let me know what you think the biggest upset is. I want to thank you so much for watching, and until we meet again, I will see you in the next Dragon Ball video.